Greetings from the center of the world, Meridian Tama specifically. There are things happening in the nation that I believe we all have to add our voice to help push our nation forward. And the recent issue that we want to all add our voice to help deal with is the two young men who have had admission to Achimota Senior High School, and there is Dibruha because of their hairstyle, because they are wearing dreadlocks. The issue is that should they be accepted in the school or should they not be accepted because they are wearing dreadlocks? The school said that yes, they have admitted them Zamumra school, but per our rules, you have to take off the dreadlocks. So the nation is divided as to, is it not trivial to say that somebody should not come to school because they are wearing dreadlocks? And so we're looking at religious beliefs here, we're looking at personal beliefs here, we're looking at the institution and also the organization that we're talking about, and the Ghana Education Service as a whole. Many think that it is high time that we accepted some of these things, that people should go to schools with their own beliefs. Now, it is said that the teacher was once a schoolboy. Some of us went through the educational systems, and gone were the days where your hairstyle will be checked by the school. They were deep. We call it depunkalization, where so those of us who be wearing punk, wearing a hairstyle, and the teacher think it is not right, they will give you a good barbering and take off some of the part of the hair for you to go and clean up, because they think that students ought to be disciplined. That will say it's a lifestyle and students ought to be put in the right check. You remember some of our guests who were plaiting their hairs, they have to shave it off, and then it became a lot of things because they have to structure you. Every organization, every institution has their personal rules. They have their lines that ought to be governed with, the rules and regulations that they ought to abide by. In fact, if there are institutions, organizations that do not have rules and regulations, it means that it is no institution at all. However, if we say that these children that are wearing dreadlocks, it's because of their religious beliefs, because Rastafarian is belief is a religious belief, then we ought to consider some things, because there are also religious organizations like the Muslims where their ladies wear the hijab. Then they will also say that, well, then let's allow them to wear their hijabs. Other organizations will come, because we had traditionalists who have gone to schools, and because they want to wear their traditional dress, because they believe that their spirit, ancestral spirit or gods want them to be in that regalia. However, they have to be in the school, but some schools have rejected them. And so here is the scenario we find ourselves in. Should these two young men be admitted in Achimota Secondary School, then other religious organizations will say that, okay, the key is being given, the door is being opened. Now, we all are demanding that our children wear their religious attire like the hijab and others to the schools. And here it means that we are treading on what we call the state of anarchy, where everybody says, because it's my belief and I don't want you to trample upon my beliefs or abuse me. Others even say it's a woman abuse. But then we ought to come to understand that, well, since they are children, then maybe we should allow them to go through the institution, let them take off their hair, be as normal as every other student, to go through the rules and regulations of the school. When they are of age, then they can decide to wear their dreadlocks. I think it is high time also that the Rastafarians come out to educate the general public, because we've had an idea that the Rastafarian have some beliefs maybe that are not in line because of the way some of them present themselves. I believe there are a lot of them who are very decent, who are very clean. And so we should come together as a nation. Let us have a discourse. But I believe at the moment, these children must shave off their hair if they want to be in the schools. The issue is this. If it has to do with religious beliefs, we know that those of us who have gone through the studies of theology and other things, we know that when it comes to the Jews, they have the Nazarite, of which Jesus was a Nazarite, but and Samson, it is believed Samuel was also a Nazarite. When they were separated, then they are not made to shave off their hair. They wear the dreadlocks, and it was for purely religious beliefs, and those are separated. They are not supposed to mingle with other children whilst they are growing up. They are given to special teachers. And so if these two young guys are pure Rastafarians, or they are Nazarite, that by their beliefs they are not supposed to mingle with other people like we believe is in the scriptures, then they should continue to be given to personal teachers to guide them, to guard them, so that they fulfill that specific mandate. As a matter of fact, whilst we were growing up, we saw some kids, they said they are the sons or daughters of the deities. They can't wear if you cast them so many abosumamba. And their hairstyle is just as it is. And then even when they go to school, we look at them strangely. So they have to be taught separately, given to special teachers to guide them, to teach them, because it is believed they have a religious assignment. Then they should be trained on that line. But if you decide to take them to a government school or a public school, I'm afraid, then we should allow them to go through the scripture. Our Bible says that an heir, Galatians chapter 4, verse 1 says that an heir, as long as it's a child, there's no difference between an heir and a servant. They have to go through the teachings until they are grown enough. Allow these children to go to the schools of their choice. They will agree. Then let them shave off their hair. If not, I'm afraid they should find a personal teachers for them. And I don't think that the teacher, the headmistress of Achimota school should be taking off her education because she says, I'm not admitting them. There is a confusion. Ghana Education Service said admit us. Yeah, I've admitted them, but they should go by the rules. And she's right. Look, let's sit as a nation and make some decisions that will be a blessing to all of us. And I pray that religious organizations and every other thing will understand that when you go to an organization, you abide by their rules and their regulations. And this human right, Obia one right. So everybody has his or right. The most important thing is that let institutions work, let principles, let rules, let regulations work.